December of 2016. I remember that time as the time I went up on stage and gave a simple yet witty speech on the dangers of distracted driving for driver's ed class. Distracted driving served as one of the leading causes of automobile accidents at that time. Almost 6 whole years have passed since then. How much has changed? Did it get better or worse? Well, with the way things are right now, not much has changed, sadly. Well, very well. Allow me to drive right back into the topic of distracted driving. This time, however, I will be going more in-depth with the concept, why it is one of the biggest leading causes of automobile accidents, and what you can do to reduce the likelihood of getting distracted while driving. Now, it's been almost 6 whole years since I talked about distracted driving, so let's tackle it once more with hardcore distracted driving. Please do not do that at home. For reference, I will be referencing a few studies and statistics to provide a better idea of distracted driving as a whole. Distracted driving is exactly as it sounds. It is the act of driving while being distracted by an external factor that diverts their attention away from the road and from the wheel. In today's world, distracted driving is most commonly caused by cell phones, especially when one tries to text on their phone. While not as problematic as text messages and other notifications that may pop up on their phones, voice messages and phone calls are also some notable causes of distracted driving as well. Most sounds, whether they come from an outside source or your group of friends and family, can also pose dangerous forms of distractions. Distracted driving is not just limited to distraction from nearby items and sounds, but also applies to tiredness and sleep deprivation as well, because it leaves the driver absent-minded. In other words, they get distracted by sleep, since their eyes are probably completely shut. Additionally, eating and drinking are also forms of distraction as well, as they tamper with the driver's ability to steer the wheel on top of diverting their attention away from driving. This is also a reminder to never, ever drink and drive. Please don't. It's also worth noting that young drivers, specifically teenagers, are more prone to getting distracted by outside sources while driving. Well, as one of the leading causes of automobile accidents and crashes, distracted driving has resulted in nearly 1.6 million crashes and 330,000 injuries each year. Wow, that's a lot. With that being said, I do want you to imagine this. Imagine a scenario where you're driving with at least one of your friends, with you being the driver. It's a fairly dark night out, and the two of you are taking the time to relax through a night drive. The cool AC blows past your faces, the illuminating lights zoom through, and calm jazz music emits from your friend's phone. Your phone ends up beeping a few times to signal multiple notifications. Curiosity does get the best of you as you try to reach out to your phone, which is tucked within the deepest recesses of your car's drink holders. As that happens, however, you hear your friend shout, "Watch out!" Your face met with the harsh force of the car's airbag. You try to turn your attention to your friend, who seems to have suffered the same fate as well. You cry out to them, checking to see if they're okay. Nothing. You reach out to them again. No response. No answer. Your eyes begin to swell up in tears. All that lies there is a cold, lifeless soul, all from a simple accident. Now, you might be asking yourselves, how do we prevent ourselves from getting distracted while driving? Well, fortunately, there are a few basic solutions. As cell phones pose the biggest cause of distracted driving today, It is best to keep the cell phones and other distracting devices away from you and muted. Do not try to eat or drink while you're driving, as it momentarily detracts your attention from the road as well. Do not drink alcohol while or before driving. Such beverages can tamper with your judgment and decision-making skills, leading to very dangerous life choices. If you have drunk alcohol, it's best to let a designated driver drive for you. Lastly, distracted driving can also be caused by sleep deprivation or tiredness, so at least 7 hours of sleep should be sufficient. You can also get someone else to drive for you as well if you're feeling tired. At the end of the day, distracted driving continues to become a growing concern over the years as more and more people gain access to cell phones and other items that can divert their attention away from the road, and as such has resulted in many car crashes, injuries, and even deaths around the world. Distracted driving itself is caused by items or acts that detract the driver's attention away from the road, which can be prevented with enough sleep and clearance of distracting items or sounds from the driver's peripheral vision. I hope I'm able to convince you all enough to keep your eyes on the road the next time you drive to keep you, your family, your friends, and everyone else around you safe and sound. And with that, my job here has finally come to an end. Thank you all.